I'm Ron and I'm back again, you know already, but this time with a review of Toronto FC versus Philadelphia Union. Toronto FC 3, Philadelphia Union 1. Toronto FC wins their MLS season opener, and in a surprising way, I have to say. Very surprising way. Played very good on offense, had a lot of pressure and attacks, played good defense, shut off the Philadelphia Union high press with Marco Fabian just coming in, which I guess really helped playing him first instead of later on in the season, because they're also trying to get into a groove and get into form. So maybe it's not as surprising as we think. Philadelphia Union does pretty well on the high press, but the Toronto FC back line cuts that off. Drew Moore, Chris Mavinga, Laurent Simon, they cut it off. They play well. Don't make any mistakes, which is nice because this is probably like the first game in a long time the TFC defense has not made any mistakes. So I'll commend that easily. Toronto FC offense, midfield did very well, brought pressure, brought attacks in. It was a little bit shaky to start, but then they got into a groove, started playing attacks down the left wing, some down the right wing, tried to get the ball into the box. They got a couple of good chances and a couple of half chances. Early on in the match, about the 25th minute, Jonathan Osorio gets a penalty for TFC because the Union had a handball in the box. Jonathan Osorio gets even though it was controversial because the handball was like this area of the Union defender's arm, so it was kind of like the inside of the arm, the ribs. It was very controversial. As Stephen Caldwell said in the Toronto FC broadcast, he was saying, if the main head referee didn't give the penalty, Alan Kelly on VAR probably wouldn't have given the penalty to Toronto FC, but he supported his referee, gave the penalty. Not that it mattered because Jonathan Osorio missed. Weak penalty, just basically slapped a low ball into the right side of the goal, or at the right side of the goal. Andre Blake knew where he was going to go, saves it. We can't score penalties to save our lives. We can't. And we can't save them either. You'll see that later. But Toronto FC basically blows the penalty, but don't fret because Toronto FC has good build-up and stoppage time, 45 plus 3 stoppage time. Bradley with a ball to Saman, then to Alro, crosses in. Bradley just puts it in. Andre Blake doesn't even try to save it. 1-0 TFC going in halftime. Which I'm surprised because that was Michael Bradley's first goal since the MLS Cup playoffs, the game in Montreal, in the Eastern Conference Final in 2016. That's his first MLS goal since then. Now it's his first overall goal since 2017 because he scored in I think, it was a U.S. qualifier for the World Cup. He scored. I don't think he scored in the Gold Cup, I think. Yeah, it was a U.S. qualifier, but that was 2017. First goal since 2017 overall for Michael Bradley. First MLS goal since MLS Cup playoffs 2016. He don't score much. Yeah, that screamer at the Azteca, you remember? Not in the U.S.-Mexico game? Yeah, that one. I was surprised when he scored that, but this, I'm surprised again. But fair play to him. TFC goes into the break, 1-0 up, and we're believing in them. which we have not believed in them for a while, that's for sure. That is for sure. We have not believed in them for a while, but then TFC comes out in the second half, still plays great offense, brings more attacks up. Probably could have got another goal than the one they didn't get, the one that they did get, and the Nick DeLeon goal later on. But they were making great runs, great attacks, more chances, more half chances. They were doing pretty well, honestly. I can't complain. They did great. They deserved this win. They deserved this win. They got in the trenches. They fought for every inch. They got in the trenches. They realized, I think that Independiente game in Panama really did something to this team. They realized what they needed to do to win this season until Pozzello gets in and the TAM players get in and Josie gets back. They realized what they needed to do in that scrap a win or a result. But scrap a win any way you can. And they did that. And then, off a Simon Cross gets pushed out by Andre Blake. Philadelphia Union doesn't mark the ball on the rebound. Michael Bradley gets into the box, snipes it in, 62nd minute. Toronto FC up 2-0. 2-0. Oh, captain, my captain. 2 goals in 1 game. Scrapping a win. Then, in the 73rd minute, Jonathan Osorio, a cross in from a Philadelphia Union player, hits his arm, handball, penalty, Marco Fabian. And, of course, they convert it because we can't save penalties or score them. Marco Fabian converts 2-1 TFC, and it's going to be a long 15 minutes left. But TFC clamps down on defense, and then in about the 76th minute, they have a ball in, hits the goal line. Bono is down off a bad save and a collision. Simon has the ball's on the goal line. Simon, goal line clearance, saves a goal for Toronto FC. I have to say it did cross the line, but thank God MLS doesn't have goal line technology. They can't review that on VAR? They can't. You think they could review that? But, like, the main referee was talking to VAR. I don't know if it was that, because it did show it. But I think it was, like, Bono. I think the reason it saved us was the fact that Bono was down. He was hurt. I really think he did that to sort of save the team and be like, I need to put attention on myself so they don't look at, hopefully they don't look at that. Very likely overturn if they can, because that went in. That went in. I'm sorry. That went in. Simon cleared it too late. That went in. He did a good job clearing it, but it crossed the line. It crossed the line. It crossed the line. I don't care what you say. And I'm saying this is a Toronto fan. That ball crossed the line. Simon cleared it, but it crossed the line. But we're still up 2-1. Then keep on playing defense, clamp down. The game got chippy around this because they were mad. Philly was mad that they got robbed, and I wouldn't blame them, but it got chippy. Very, very chippy. Philadelphia just starts throwing kicks and just starts throwing bad tackles. Goes in for headers while trying to knock into their heads. Busting heads. Moore goes down looking like a dead guy after going for a header. He got taken off the pitch for a couple of minutes, but he came back. But if you saw it, yeah. Philly was playing dirty for the last part of that match because they were mad. They didn't want to lose like that. And I don't disagree, but that was dirty. I mean, that was completely dirty. Those last 15 minutes, that's why there were 5 minutes of stoppage time. And they were dirty throughout until the final whistle. And the fans were too, because they were booing. Everything Toronto did, or every foul that the referee gave, they booed. And most of them were for Toronto at that point. But 90 stoppage time, 90 plus 3. Nick DeLeon. Ball comes off a tackle. TFC dispossesses a Union player. Goes to Nick DeLeon. He makes a run. He slots it in. 3-1 TFC. 3 points in game 1. 3 points from 1. Michael Bradley is top of the Golden Boot rankings right now. Nick DeLeon is a great buy. TFC shuts him down. And they score 3. They did it. They won. They won before Pozzello came into this team. And the TAM players. They're doing what they need to do. They're doing what they need to do. Stealing wins. Stealing points. It's going to be a couple of games. They need to do that. Next game they have is a home opener. March 17th against the New England Revolution. Will not have Pozzello yet. Or he won't be available for selection. The third game will be when he's available for selection. I think that's against New York City FC. I think. If I recall correctly, it's New York City FC. But Pozzello will be in the team soon. We only have to scrape one more result. At least. I really think after he comes in, there will be a... After this, I think there will be a tide change. A shifting of the tides. Whatever you want to say. TFC, they knocked me off my feet. That was a win. That's a good win. That's a great win by the Reds. That's a great win. That's what we needed. That's what we needed. That's how we need to play against Independiente. That's both legs, but especially the first. That's how we need to play. But I told you we'd be back in MLS this year. I told you. And you didn't believe me. And you especially didn't believe me after that Independiente game. Well, guess what? Look at us now. Look at us now. Glory, glory, Toronto FC. Let's go. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, like, subscribe, share this with your friends. If you disagreed with anything or agreed with anything, if you want to put a comment down below. You know what it is. TFC pulled it off. We're happy right now. I'm Ryan and I'm out. Peace.